Greetings, bronies and other Pegasisters alike. Well, this video, like it says in the title, I'm going to give my own personal review of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 1. Well, first off, I could already say with this season, I think I'm not saying My Little Pony has a bad season, but I think just because it's so fresh into the story and all that, and how the story just advances onward as the series progresses. I don't know why I have trouble saying that. I would say this one's probably my least favorite season, although it has a lot of great episodes and a lot of great songs in it. You know, I definitely don't think it's my least favorite because I don't think it's any good. I just think the other ones, because of the series progression, like I said, the other seasons just perform better. I guess to start off, the first episode, I mean, you know, it was a great two-parter. It definitely introduced us each to the characters. Definitely centered more around Twilight than anybody in those two episodes. But just the introductions for Pinkie Pie, just all the introductions for all the characters, it just definitely kind of fit with the personas that you were going to see them have later on as the series progressed. It was a great first impression for all the characters for just part one alone, and then the second part, just how it was how they found out that they were all meant to be friends, how they were all meant to be part of the elements of harmony, and just how they saved not only Equestria from Nightmare Moon, but they also saved Nightmare Moon from herself, and she became Princess Luna again. Other episodes like Ticketmaster, kind of on the Ticketmaster and Applebuck season, kind of on the, I like them nowadays, but at first they were just kind of hard for me to get used to, mainly because, I don't know, I just kind of felt like I've seen the whole plot of the one ticket, so many friends thing so much, and all the friends just, instead of just trying to impress the person, they just veer away and just make them go a little crazy. I felt like I kind of saw it a little too much, but going back to the episode and seeing the whole season arc for that season, I could definitely kind of understand it. Plus, I guess making it, the third episode or the episode right after the series premiere kind of makes a little more sense. If I was to have an episode like that as early in the series, I would prefer to be that early. Again, Applebuck season, same thing. At first, I didn't really like it that much. Not that I disliked it, but it just didn't hold strong for me. And again, rewatching it, just seeing all the characters, just knowing the characters now, it was a great early installment episode, to say that. But just the whole pride thing, I don't know, I just felt like it didn't need to last the whole 22 episodes. But then again, just shortly afterwards, I kind of noticed that I kind of have the same element of pride myself, and it took me time to get the understanding of the episode, but it wasn't something that was just first impression that just grabbed me sort of episode. The Griffin episode was great. The one with I'm obviously reading these off. Introducing Gilda the Griffin for the first time, just their relationship with Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie, her old friendship with Rainbow Dash going in the way of Pinkie Pie and everything, and just Pinkie just being total opposites with her. I just thought that was very interesting, especially since season 5 continues up on that and just closes the book on that chapter pretty amazingly. You know, the introduction of Trixie, saying she's all powerful when it's really just all a trick. I kind of thought, even though I probably should have expected that plot and mounted mid-episode, I still thought it was a very decent episode. Fluttershy, same thing, kind of just the whole her overcoming shyness thing, even though it doesn't really get picked up that heavily until episodes later. I did think it was a great lesson. The Sleepover episode was actually one of my favorites. Sakura, that was just a great introduction episode for the later series, and I didn't really mind it. And plus, I kind of like the whole I didn't mind it in a good way, actually, not like how I said for the early episodes. Just how it kind of just introduced the whole friendship thing, and just don't, if you're gonna want to be friends with people, just don't be somewhat hypocritical and close the door for other people. Just definitely gave you a chance to open the door for everybody, not just the people in your clique. The Parasprite episode was actually pretty good. It's definitely way better the second time. I kind of noticed that the first time I saw it, that it's definitely one of those episodes you have to re-watch, and it definitely didn't disappoint me after that. It didn't disappoint me the first time because I knew that. Winter Wrap Up, one of the best songs of the show still to this day. And just the whole plan, just the whole planning things out, being a good planner, just trying to find your place and everything, and you end up, your place is to help everybody else get to theirs, or at least for Twilight Sparkle, that was her story. The introduction of the Cutie Mark Crusaders was actually one of my favorite episodes of season 1 actually. The racy one with Applejack and Rainbow Dash, that was just interesting because they're voiced by the same person and they are opposite characters. Although, I mean, again, it was one of those things where the plot just kind of seemed like I've seen it before, but it wasn't enough for me to dislike the episode, and it's still, it's strangely enough, the episode still kind of just out of nowhere comes to my memory for some reason. So, I can't say it was all bad of an episode. Like I said, none of these episodes so far, already halfway through season 1, none of the episodes so far for the series or this season for that matter has really been a least favorite of mine. Or let me reword that. It hasn't really been an episode I haven't disliked. Sorry, just something's getting in my nose, it's trying to distract me. But let me rephrase that. None of the episodes so far, for not just this season but the whole series, I can't really say I've had an episode where I've just walked away saying I've disliked it. I've always liked some sort of quality of an individual episode, and I think that's one of the few things that makes or one of the many things that makes the series great, in my opinion. The Suitors for Success, where the whole 20% cooler, I don't know why I'm having a hard time talking, where the whole 20% cooler episode take came in. Just thought it was good. The whole fashion episode, just the whole concept of the episode really fell together, really sank in. The whole continuation from the Ticketmaster episode and towards the season finale just kind of gave season 1 its own little small story arc. The Pinky episode was actually pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, it's just using Pinkie Pie in her best element, and it was a great way to introduce her, since, again, this is still season 1, so she's still kind of new to the whole series still. Sonic Rainboom was definitely, aside from the Cutie Mark Crusader episodes, I think this one was definitely one of my favorites. Just even seeing the episode, I automatically remember what it was about. Just the whole underdog scheme about the whole thing, I don't know, there's a lot of things I could say about that episode. Just seeing Cloudsdale, Fluttershy cheer for Rainbow Dash. Just seeing Rainbow Dash accomplish the Sonic Rainboom, something she didn't accomplish since she was younger, and now she's able to accomplish it with ease. The whole episode centering around all that. It's just a really good episode. Stairmaster. Let's see what that one was about. Oh, okay, I remember that one. Where she's babysitting the Cutie Mark Crusaders, Fluttershy is. That was actually, reading back on this one, which is why I was so surprised when I actually found out what it was about. Really good episode, kind of great. Introduced almost a darker side, I guess, if you will, of Fluttershy, or a little more kill it with kindness side of Fluttershy, if anything. And just how, again, it just reintroduced the Cutie Mark Crusaders, them, one of the earlier adventures of them trying to find out what their special talent is. And just the whole cockatrice thing, which I'm reading here. I guess where they're trying to look for I can't really tell what the animal is. It looks like somewhat of a chicken. But, I don't know, just how it introduced that and how it showed how she could fight against a whole Medusa-like character. That was pretty cool. Another Cutie Mark Crusaders, one with the old clubhouse. And they're trying to do a comedy act. I'm barely remembering that episode, but I just remember it just didn't go well. You just knew it was not going to go well from the start. The Diamond Dogs one, that was one of the darker ones, in my opinion. But I thought the message at the very end, even though they didn't really give out the message till the very last minute or last 30 seconds of the episode, I thought it was a very interesting episode with all the gems, all the diamond dogs around it. I just kind of thought, again, the whole episode was a little darker than I would have expected to be. But I think that was kind of what they were trying to go for with the writing, because, again, at the end of the episode, where at the same time you're getting the revelation, the same time you're just kind of at ease, they made it out, and at ease they're back above ground again. So maybe being dark was their premise. Green is in your color. Well, let's see what this one is about. Oh, it's just a jealousy. Oh, okay, green is envy. Obviously, I should have seen that. Where, oh, it just seems like it's the whole thing. Oh, okay, now I remember it. Just how Rarity wanted to be in the fashion show and Fluttershy instead got to be it. I don't know, I think that's just one any... again, I like that one. That's definitely one anybody can relate to, whether you're a kid or in high school, or maybe even an adult for that matter, especially since it seems like the main six are adults. I'm almost done with the season's episode. Sorry if this is a little too cringeworthy for you guys. Over a Barrel, where she visits her, where she visits the Pioneer one. I kind of don't remember that one. Oh, Buffalo, where they have to share, okay, yeah. That one was good, especially since you knew ahead of time Pinkie Pie was right about the whole thing, and the fact that she kind of started breaking the fourth wall in this episode, the fact that they intentionally made her You Gotta Share song very bad, just for the sake of the audience of said Pinkie Pie show saying the same thing. That was pretty good. Introducing the Phoenix and them not knowing a Phoenix can actually come back to life, which is the next episode of Bird in the Hoof. That one was an interesting one. Just how they're all, or how Fluttershy is supposed to know what animals are. I guess doesn't know what a Phoenix is completely yet. And just how she feels bad that it bursts up in flames, but I guess she forgot the ashes of what makes the Phoenix come back to life. Definitely my favorite episode, and this is the one that I saw on the 3-year anniversary without trying to, and this is the Cutie Chronicles. And that's the episode where the Cutie Crusaders are basically asking each of the main six how they got their Cutie Mark, and then the whole episode you just kind of find out it was everybody got their Cutie Mark, with Fluttershy with nature, Rainbow Dash with her speed, Rarity with her gems, Applejack with her belonging with her apple family, Pinkie Pie with partying, and Twilight Sparkle with magic. Just how you find out all those kind of came in sync because they all saw Rainbow Dash's Sonic Rainboom, or Rainbow Dash did her first Sonic Rainboom. Just how it kind of related to all of the things in nature just kind of connecting together. And how it just goes back to how these two were, how these six were just definitely meant to be friends. Something that was picked up early on in the series premiere part 2. So I thought that was definitely a great episode, definitely well written. Again, the fact that I happened to saw it on the 3-year anniversary by accident definitely adds some light to that. But all in all, if I had to pick a favorite episode for season 1, that would definitely be it. Just without a second, there I go again, without a second thinking about it. Alright, and, Owlicious, just the whole Spike getting jealousy thing, that was actually an interesting one because it finally focused on Spike after a while. That was great, just how it focused on him being jealous and used to being the only child or the favorite, and he feels, it's just basically using Spike as the whole older sibling now being the younger sibling and feeling like they're being replaced. I think anybody that has a younger sibling can relate to that, or just even a new pet can relate to that. It just, again, another universal episode that kind of reminds me of Green Is Not Your Color, with Fluttershy taking the place of the modeling and Rarity getting jealous. because Alice just doesn't know what's going on, but again, Spike's jealous. It was just a great revamp of that episode without being too much of a rehash, and it had its own little interesting, humorous element to it that, again, I didn't have any problems with it, and plus Owlicious is definitely a interesting name, let alone an interesting character for the later series, even though they're only in there for a few brief while, and I think in season 6 it was almost as if he wasn't really in there as much. Second to last episode, Party of One, where it where everybody forgot where it was believed that everybody forgot Pinkie Pie's birthday, and I think this is the episode that kind of gave the idea for the Cupcakes creepypasta, especially the scene where she's talking to all these animate objects and she's making it seem like the inanimate objects are talking back to her, but we find out that it's actually just her making the inanimate objects talk back to herself. And just seeing that scene, just seeing Pinkie Pie just go completely crazy. You know, somebody who already looks like she has enough caffeine as it is, that's already a loose cannon, pun intended. You just see the sinister, dark side of that's for sure. And again, that one scene just never seems to leave anybody. Like I said, I guarantee that one scene is what talked everybody, or talked that one person into making that Cupcakes creepypasta a few years ago. And then finally, the season finale. Probably one of the lighter season finales out of the whole show, mainly because it's one of the only two thus far that's a one-parter, not a two-parter. But the whole best night ever thing, the Grand Gala, again, the fact that the whole season, or not the whole season, but a good portion of the season was built up for this night. You know, how you got to see all the characters together. Everybody kind of just go a little out of character, try to be impressive to all the people a little too much, especially Fluttershy with the animals, just crossing amok inside the Grand Gala. And just how the end, it was just the fact that it wasn't really so much that they tried accomplishing what they were trying to accomplish all season at the gala. It was more of the fact that they were with their friends and had fun that made it the best night ever. I kind of thought that was cheesy at first, like anybody would, but over time I could kind of see that, you know, it was a great plot. I think definitely with season 1, for that matter, looking back on it, I think season 1 was definitely, you know, getting us, not just getting us involved with these characters and just getting to know them, but I think it was also trying, at a good point, trying to relate us, the human beings, you know, just anybody to said main six or any character in Ponyville and Equestria for that matter. I think season 1, thinking back on it and just now looking at all 26 episodes, it definitely seems like that's what they were trying to write for, and I kind of got to kick myself in the shin for not noticing that a little too much, because I feel like was supposed to be obvious, but again, just that kind of makes me actually appreciate season 1 a little more now. But I don't know. Who's to say that won't happen with the other seasons as I review them again? Well, I could already know with the villains in season 2 and just how the story is a little more adjusted. It's not really falling victim of the whole introduction phase and everything. But no, season 1, like I said, it's definitely a good season. Actually, it's actually, looking back on it, it's a really good season. But I kind of thought that before I just re-looked at all these episodes. Not a bad episode. There's some least favorite episodes, but not least favorite in the category that you don't like them, but yeah, there's some that stand out and there's some that help the other ones stand out, and that just doesn't happen for just this season. It happens for this season and other seasons for later on in the series. And anybody that knows MLPFIM knows that this was the only season so far where the series developer Lauren Frost was actually involved with it, and she actually wrote the series premieres part 1 and 2, and she actually co-wrote the Ticketmaster episode, which is episode 3. And then she just kind of left it after season 2. But that's almost veering away. But anyway, that was my review of season 1, both before and after I reviewed it, even though I wasn't trying to go for that. Then me reviewing it as well. Anyway, Sadly enough, that was actually enough time to watch a My Little Pony episode from season 1. But anyway, for anybody that was there to sit through all that or get invested with all that, I thank you and I congratulate you as well. And I'll try to be a little more collective with my wording and my reviews for the later seasons to come, especially since all but season 13 is just as long as season 1. But anyway, that's my review of season 1 again. And hope you guys have a good one. And I guess bro proof. Have a good one.